Ever get that feeling like you only kind of sort of know about something? Well, today we're going deep on potassium.
Yeah, we're going way past it's in bananas.
Exactly. We've got three sources to really dig in. The Royal Society of Chemistry, that's for the nitty-gritty science part.
The NIH, they're coming at it from the health angle.
And of course, good old Wikipedia to tie it all together.
By the end of this, you'll see potassium is way more than just a line on your nutrition label.
All right, so square one, what is potassium, really?
Okay, so picture this. Pure form, it's this silvery white metal, but good luck actually seeing that.
Why is that?
Because it tarnishes like instantly when air touches it. And it's so soft you could cut it with a butter knife.
No way.
Yeah. It would actually float on water too if it didn't, well, if it
did what?
If it didn't react so violently with it. Explosions, basically.
Okay, so we've got explosive metal that's also in our food. That's a lot to unpack. But before we get there, where does it even come from?
So the name potassium, it actually comes from potash, which, fun fact, has a long history. They used to get it from wood ash, hence potash.
So like our ancestors were making DIY potassium.
Kinda, yeah. They used it for all sorts of stuff. No clue about the chemistry, really. These days, we mine it minerals with lots of potassium.
Which makes more sense than everyone needing a bonfire just to get their potassium fix. But speaking of which, what's it actually doing in our bodies?
Potassium, it's like essential for how our cells work, and we've got trillions of those little guys, so kind of important.
I'm with you so far. But get specific on me. What's potassium's role?
Think of it as the conductor of an orchestra, making sure everything plays in sync, like muscles contracting, even your heart.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's huge in fluid balance, too, blood pressure, the works.
So it's like the behind-the-scenes MVP we never even knew.
Exactly.
And when we talk about electrolytes, is that just a fancy way of saying minerals that do electrical stuff in our bodies?
Pretty much, yeah. Sodium, potassium, they're like these little electrical messengers letting our cells chat and get things done.
Okay, so potassium is essential. It's electric. It's in our bodies.
Yeah.
What's the catch?
Well, the NIH, they point out that most of us, especially with the whole Western diet thing, we're getting way too much sodium, not nearly enough potassium, throws the whole system out of whack. And guess what that's linked to?
Heart problems.
Bingo. And it's not just about how much potassium you get. It's the balance between that and sodium that really matters.
Makes sense. But how do we even know if we've got the right balance? Just like a blood test.
So blood tests, they're helpful, but not the whole story. Like trying to judge a book by its cover, you know?
Interesting. So potassium, super important, got to have the right amount. What does that actually mean for our health, though?
Well, there are studies that show a strong connection between higher potassium intake and a lower risk of stroke, for one.
Yeah, that's huge. Strokes are no joke. So besides like going full on banana every day, how do we make sure we're getting enough?
The DAAH diet is a good place to start. It's full of potassium-rich foods. Fruits, vegetables, low-fat dairy, the works.
DHH, got it. But it can't just be bananas, right? Yeah.
Oh, definitely not. There's tons of tasty options out there. You've got sweet potatoes, beans, lentils, even coconut water packs. A potassium punch.
I never would have guessed coconut water. So it's more about eating a rainbow of potassium-rich foods, not just scarfing down bananas.
Exactly. Variety keeps things interesting, both for your taste buds and your potassium levels.
Variety is key. I like that. Now, I got to ask about something Wikipedia mentioned. This acid-ash hypothesis. Sounds a little intense, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. Basically, the theory is that our modern diets, lots of animal protein, grains.
Right.
It can make our bodies kind of acidic. It's because of certain compounds in those foods, sulfates, phosphates, that kind of thing. And to balance that out, our bodies might actually pull calcium from our bones.
So it's like our insides are doing this pH balancing act 24/7, and too much acid. That's bad news for our bones.
That's the gist, yeah. Research is still ongoing, but it really shows how important that balance is in our diets. And the DASH diet, that's where it comes in again.
Naturally high in potassium, we know that.
Right, low in sodium, too. Plus, it's all about fruits and veggies, which seem to help with that whole alkalizing thing.
Wow, it's amazing how everything's connected. What we eat, it's not just one system, it's the whole shebang. But, okay, we've talked about the good stuff potassium does. How do we know if we're, out of whack? What should people watch out for?
So not enough potassium, you might feel tired all the time. Muscle cramps, weakness, constipation even.
Fun.
Yeah, not so much. And then in, really bad cases, people can have heart rhythm issues. That's definitely a sign to call the doctor, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't mess around with that. Okay, so Listen to your body. If something feels off, go to the doctor.
Mhm.
What about too much potassium, though? What happens then?
That's called hyperkalemia, and you might see weakness, fatigue again, maybe nausea, vomiting, even shortness of breath.
Okay, so those are all pretty general, though, right? I mean, couldn't those be signs of a lot of things?
True, true. But again, anything weird with your heartbeat, don't wait around. Go get checked out. Better safe than sorry.
Always good advice. Now, this might seem like a random question, but why is the chemical symbol for potassium K, not P, for potassium?
Yeah, a lot of people wonder about that. It goes back to that word potash. K actually comes from kalium. It's like a Latin term showing where potassium came from way back.
Huh? Never knew that.
Yeah.
It's funny how even in science, there's all this history baked in. Speaking of history, we kind of glossed over potassium's role in our brains earlier. Wikipedia was saying something about sleep, how active we feel. What's the deal there?
Oh, yeah. So it's not just those electrical signals in our nerves. Potassium might actually help our brains regulate sleep and how awake we feel, our energy levels, basically.
So how well I sleep, how much pep in my step, that could be potassium related.
Seems that way, yeah. There's research suggesting it affects these things called neurotransmitters in our brains. Norepinephrine, serotonin, dopamine, they're all involved in that sleep-wake cycle, how energized we feel.
Man, so much going on in there.
Huh.
It's wild how this one element is involved in, like, everything. Heart health, bones, now our brains.
Right, and to think we're still figuring all this stuff out.
Exactly. Okay, but one last thing Wikipedia also mentioned, our taste buds can actually sense potassium. Is that true?
Yeah. Isn't that weird? So diluted potassium, it actually tastes sweet. That's why some juices have that kind of sweet hint to them.
Interesting.
But get this, as you get more and more potassium, the taste shifts. Goes bitter, then actually salty.
Wait, so that slightly salty thing in electrolyte drinks, that's potassium in tasting.
You got it. It's a little reminder that this element, we're interacting with it on a really basic level every day.
That's kind of cool when you think about it. Makes you appreciate how complex flavor is, how our senses work, the whole 9 yards. So, okay, we've covered a lot, how potassium keeps our muscles moving, our bones strong, might even mess with our sleep, even how it tastes. But before we wrap up this potassium deep dive, what about supplements? Do we need those, or is food enough?
It's a good question. Most people, if they're eating a good, balanced diet, they're probably fine. But there are times when a doctor might recommend a supplement. It really depends.
Okay, but like we said before, it's not like more potassium is always better.
Right. Right. There are situations where it might be necessary, like if someone has a medical condition or is on certain medications, but it's not something to self-diagnose.
So when in doubt, talk to your doctor, figure out what's right for you.
100%. Even though it's natural, you don't want to mess around with potassium supplements without a doctor is okay.
Makes sense. Playing doctor with yourself, rarely a good idea, especially when it comes to your health. It's like with potassium, you got to find that sweet spot. Not too much, not too little.
100%. It all comes back to knowing what's what and making smart choices about our health.
Well said. And I think it's safe to say we've officially done the potassium deep dive. From exploding metal to, like, this secret weapon for our health, we even got into how it affects our brains.
What a ride. Right. And the best part, we're still learning about this stuff.
Totally. We've given you the basics. Now it's your turn to keep digging. Maybe check out those food labels a little closer. Toss some more potassium-rich foods into your grocery cart.
And hey, if you're worried about any of this, talk to a doctor. They can help you navigate all things potassium and make sure you're getting what you need.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Right.
All right, on that note, I think it's time we come up for air from this potassium deep dive. Until next time, stay curious, everyone.